Okay, we have Lawrence Devet and Gopal, Dave Gopal, and they have just beheaded this iguana and actually making it fit for human consumption. We are taking the carcass of the iguana, they are taking the carcass of the iguana and actually converting it. Now this iguana has recently been caught, and its rigor mortis is still operating here, and the animal is dead, but it's the muscle is still moving in it. And as we see that Pono is removing the comb, right? He has just beheaded and the legs, the head, and is now removing the comb. As we said before, that they are in the process of converting this iguana into meat, the carcass of the iguana into meat. The iguana is an animal that is permitted to be hunted in Trinidad and Tobago, and it has been so hunted. Once there is a permit to hunt the lizard, it is classified as the lizard and the Wildlife Act, and it is permitted to be hunted in the open season, which is now. And these guys have recently hunted this iguana. They have caught 2 iguanas, and they are in the process of removing this big sort of a hair-like structure from the back of the iguana. That's the first thing. And they are now removing the skin, this iguana skin. Now some people actually cook these iguana by not removing the skin, and they have different types of preparations for this animal. The animal has been eaten in Trinidad and Tobago since long before the days of Columbus, and it is very versatile in breeding in our kingdom. So you will find birds, you will find birds and other animals, right? Other animals actually feeding on the young of these iguana. The population in Trinidad and Tobago, the meat-eating population in Trinidad and Tobago, have been consuming these animals, as we said, before Christopher Columbus discovered here. It was eaten by the Amerindians, and today the locals still continue to eat it. We still have it in the numbers. Right? It is sustainable. And once the iguana is protected and not hunted in the closed season, once it is not hunted in the closed season, we would have a constant supply of this animal. So the skin of the iguana is now removed. It is the slash part of the iguana, the cut, or as we will want to call it now, is there, and the skin is actually prized off the flesh. Right? Now these iguanas are not with eggs at this point in time. They are very good for harvesting, in that many of our population would have a tendency to look at this animal, and even though the animal is filled with eggs, they still go and slaughter these animals. That is actually interrupting the production cycle of the animal. We cannot afford to kill these animals when they are pregnant, because you can know if a iguana is pregnant. So people would have to try to use some restraint when it coming to that. If the animal is bulging a lot, you don't kill it. This animal is almost domesticated. It is living around almost any home. We are having this animal living in towns, right at the University of the West Indies, and some of these savanna areas. You will find this iguana actually living. The iguana also lives in the forest. but it lives also in the rural communities, in the towns, and in many other places. The population at this point in time is very sustainable in Trinidad and Tobago. As we are seeing here, the skin is actually prized off the flesh. The skin is a sort of a rough, leathery type of material, and it is actually prized off the flesh. Now this iguana is actually plentiful in Trinidad and Tobago, as we're saying that it is very sustainable in that it feeds on leaves, and there's an abundance of leaves. Once we keep our trees healthy, and the areas they are given permission to, they are given time and place to actually lay their eggs in sandy type areas and so on, the population is going to grow rapidly. The other thing about this iguana is that we do not have, this iguana do not tend to its young as such. You wouldn't find a mother and a whole series of young babies moving around. The babies fend for themselves as long as they are born. The moment they are born, they start to eat leaves and actually develop very rapidly. And they are, as we say, they are eaten by many animals, right? Out there, they are, and mostly though by birds. You will find that the egret and some of these, the snake, these type of animals, more or less the cannibalistic type birds and eating animals that eat small animals would feed on these. So you're looking at here the removal of the skin. As you notice that sometimes the meat attaches to the skin and has to be prized off by your hands. Now many people in Trinidad and Tobago eat this animal. It has been found on the roads, it has been found on the backyard trees, on the cherry trees and all these little orange trees around the home. And it has also been found in the forest. As we are seeing here, we are taking out the skin from around the legs, and the skin has to be cut so it could be easily pulled off. This iguana is an adult and weighs about 3 to 4 pounds, right? It is eaten by many of part of our population, although some of the people do not, right, eat this animal. They don't know about it as yet, but we have a lot of people who eat this animal. The people who actually eat the iguana is the more or less from tradition. People, their parents actually used to eat iguana, and the children start to eat iguana, and everybody continue down the line. Friends and so on are encouraged and to eat this animal. Some like it, others don't. The iguana seems to, many people are of the view that it is something like chicken, because if you have to get something to compare with. If you ask me, I am going to say that the iguana tastes like iguana. Iguana has a unique taste, and we can bring out the taste in iguana by the way we cook it. And there are many different ways in which this iguana is cooked. As we say, some is actually cooked with the skin, right? That the skin that you are seeing that has been pulled off, right? Some iguana is actually cooked with that skin, and it tastes alright. But many people have a preference for the iguana without the skin, saying that it tastes better and it appears to be more clean. So as we said, these guys are actually removing the skin. Now if we are looking at this young, the smaller iguana, it's a female. And we'll notice by the sort of a wattles on the back is smaller in the female than in the male. Now the cleaning of this iguana seems to be a very tedious thing. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, in that we can't just put it in a plucking machine and just move the skin. We have to be dedicated and actually taking time in removing the skin from the iguana. So now you have seen the guys have removed the skin, and now they are going about trying to remove the mist. Now the mist in the iguana is more or less the glands, and they operate as filters. And what you find is that if they remove those glands, these glands are actually strainers in the body, actually moving out all the impurities. And that has a certain type of taste, or something that we call a rank. And that has to be removed. So we are looking at here, they are removing that area. They are cutting into that area where these glands would be removed. Now we are cutting the iguana in the center, actually making room for evisceration to remove the guts, right? Remove the guts from the animal and all the small entrails and so on inside, right? Actually removing that because it is not edible, right? As you see that it is being removed. All the guts is being removed. You don't eat anything from that?
Nothing from inside.
You don't eat the liver?
No.
Alright, so nothing is from inside the iguana is actually eaten. The liver and all these things are removed. And now you have a clean sort of a carcass. Right, you're seeing the viscera there. It's a clean, shiny type color. Viscera is actually protecting this guts from attacking the flesh.
Right.
The flesh. Now you're about to remove the mist. The mist here, as we said before, are really glands, and you're looking at them here, that they have to be removed in order this iguana actually tastes clean and not with impurities, as we are actually when the iguana was alive, which would have been filtered off by these things.
This is a mist.
Bring it down here by your hand. Just now. Okay, so you're seeing the mist there, and that is one of the mists that has been removed, and we are looking at other mists being removed from the iguana, from the carcass of the iguana. About how much mist we have to remove there, boy?
2 portions.
How much mist?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's we have 2 mists that must be removed, and as you see that it is held by in Dave's hand. They have been removed. They have removed it already. Lawrence is now. We are removing what?
The spinal cord.
The spinal cord. So you are taking off the spinal cord also, which will also sort of have the tendency to taint the meat. So the spinal cord is being removed. It is somewhat similar to the mist there in terms of taste. Of course, we know the spinal cord is responsible for all the movements of this animal. When the brain interprets the movement, it sends a signal through the spinal cord through the different muscles and to the different tissues and so on. Here, in this case, we are about to convert the carcass of this iguana, so we do not need the spinal cord for sending those messages. It has to be removed because it is going to impact on the taste. So you've seen that the spinal cord is actually being pulled down, and the spinal cord is sort of a thick. We're seeing it there in a sort of a way, or looking at it there in Dave's hand. So we're seeing the spinal cord, and we are looking at the glands. If we look at the carcass, you will see that the carcass is clean. Yeah, so we are washing the carcass now. We are washing the carcass and actually making it ready for food. Yes, as we say, a lot of people don't eat it. A lot of people do eat it. However, what we can say is those who eat it find it to be very interesting. If you look at the guts here,
looks a leaf like a plum leaf.
we are actually seeing the lots of leaves and so on that was eaten, right? And if you notice,
And some little small fruits like bolon seeds and
you're seeing fruits like bollam seeds, as we say, and you're seeing leaves, and you're seeing all these type of things being eaten by this animal. This animal really feeds on leaves. It is a vegetarian, a type of animal that it actually feeds on vegetable matter or vegetable matter. And this is, as you see there, that guts there is out for disposal, that we can actually go back into the land and fertilize the land. So the vet is actually cutting the iguana. You could cut this iguana anyhow, right? You could cut it in 4 pieces, or as well as you can cut it in 2 pieces. You just cut it any type of way that you like, right? And we're going to cut it up here and make it right in small cooking size. You also notice the long tail that is there. The long tail is also very tasty and is actually cut up into small pieces. This iguana is actually going, what are you all going to cook with this iguana, boy? Curry?
Curry.
So this is going to be a curry iguana, and you're going to eat it with what? Yam and
Yam.
curry and yam. So while he is cutting up there, I think Dave has gone to bring the yam, and they are going to get this thing together. And this afternoon, we will have some curry, iguana, and yam. I am around here, so I will be waiting to eat. I am Mohan Bola Singh.